This is how the pride of a peacetime merchant fleet completed her maiden voyage in wartime. The world's mightiest liner took her first trip from Britain to America in a coat of dull grey paint. Her crossing was kept a secret, and the world didn't know she was sailing until she had arrived. Planes flew out from New York to meet her. She had run the gauntlet of Nazi mines and torpedoes and bombs and came safe to neutral harbor. The crossing thrilled the world. The very daring of it brought the success that always attends great daring in a great cause. The safe arrival of the Queen Elizabeth is a major triumph of the war. The Navy, the Air Force, the shipping company, the port authorities in Clydeside all had their share in it. And above all...
The mighty liner moves majestically down the Clyde on her way to New York, daring U-boats and all the other perils of the deep, the secret voyage in history. No vast crowd's idea of where the pride of the Clyde is going. We know now, safely across the Atlantic, where at the reception she had from a welcome party of voyage heard of its success, he said, "I'm delighted, but I never had..."
The death of Sir Percy Bates on the day he was to have sailed in the QE cast a deep shadow over the departure of the great ship he had done so much to bring into being. The port, which wasn't confined to people seeing off relatives and friends. If it was a big day for the Cunard White Star Line, pride in the fact that the greatest and newest luxury liner in the world belongs to Britain. She had a great send-off, many people going out in a variety of vessels to wish her bon voyage, and sirens and whistles going all over the place. At the time of sailing, it was reported that there was no question of any record-breaking attempts. Meanwhile, the maiden voyage had begun, and I should think pretty well everyone who saw her sail envied those on board. Arrival at New York was a great moment, and quite a spectacular welcome had been organized. All that remained was the docking of the giant liner early in the morning, and for many passengers, I dare say this may have been a moment of luxurious voyage to last longer.
And now listen to Lowell Thomas describing the arrival of the Queen Elizabeth in New York.
The end of the most dramatic maiden voyage a ship ever made, and she's the biggest ship in the world. The British $28.5 million, 85,000-ton superliner, the Queen Elizabeth. Instead of a maiden voyage with gay colors, fluttering pennants, and festive ceremony, she's a strange giant of grim wartime gray. She made a secret wartime crossing hidden by censorship as she steamed through waters imperiled by German mines and Nazi submarines. A mystery maiden voyage. She stops at quarantine in New York Harbor. Britain built her to be the queen of the queens of the sea. Then the war came. She's not quite complete. They painted over her name, but you still can see it.
She passes through the Narrows into the wide expanse of New York Harbor, with all America intrigued by the drama of the occasion. Past the Statue of Liberty, symbol of democracy, holding aloft the torch of freedom, that freedom for which the Allies are fighting. Then from our grandstand view in a welcoming aeroplane, we see her steaming towards the Hudson River against the background of Manhattan's skyscrapers. Magnificent setting for the climax of the secret maiden voyage. It's high tide as she moves up towards the Cunard White Star Pier, and her vast bulk almost covers the skyline of New York. Then to the intricate task of maneuvering the great vessel into the berth provided for her. 3 other fine ships lie in adjacent berths. You recognize them? From right to left, the Queen Mary, the Normandy, the Mauretania. Since this picture was taken, the Queen Mary and Mauretania have sailed from New York to destinations wrapped in mystery, but supposed to be the southern seas. As for the Queen Elizabeth, she refuses to commit himself. But the fact remains, the Queen Elizabeth has sailed from Scotland to New York, and Hitler has been able to do just nothing about it.
New York Harbor, and the liner Queen Elizabeth arrives with a host of celebrities. Big maneuver was successfully carried out when the liner Queen Elizabeth entered transatlantic records.
as she comes off the...
The world's biggest ocean liner returns to her berth after near disaster. Queen Elizabeth, 2 gashes at the anchor pocket of her starboard bow, losing...
And now we see the mighty Queen Elizabeth near the end of her maiden voyage. She sailed under sealed orders without the usual cheery send-off accorded a big ship as she puts to sea. Here that so important a visitor was due until she nosed into her berth alongside her sister ship Queen Mary. The end of a thrilling war...
Southampton. The Queen Elizabeth prepared for her final... with...
About 9 months ago, the Queen Elizabeth, the world's largest vessel, secretly and safely crossed the Atlantic to New York. With that voyage, we confounded all doubters as to whether Britannia still rules the waves. When our gracious Queen launched her namesake a year before war broke out, she said, "We proclaim our belief that by the grace of God and by man's patience and goodwill, order may yet be brought out of confusion and peace out of turmoil." But man's patience and goodwill did not stand up to the test. One effect of that sad fact is that this mighty ship, now needed in the service of Britain, painted a drab wartime grey, sails from New York with few to see her go. Queen Elizabeth sails for exact to confound our enemies, destination undivulged. May God bless all who sail in her.
The best kept secret of the war. The mightiest ocean liner ever built slipped out of the Clyde and crossed the Atlantic to America, and the world didn't know till she got there. The shipyard knew it, the Navy knew it, the Air Force knew it, and Clydeside knew it. Don't ever say a...
Tragic death of Sir Percy Bates, chairman of Cunard White Star, who should have been sailing in the liner whose creation he made possible. But as he would have wished, the gay flags and bunting remain to mark a splendid new chapter in merchant navy history. A memorable sight as she heads out into the Channel, the Ocean Queen begins a voyage that has stirred the imagination of our people. Our thoughts go with her now as she enters on her new life, a constant messenger of goodwill between the old world and the new.